Hope everybody's having a blessed evening today on this Thursday, May 15th. Is it the 15th or the 14th? It's the 15th. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a good evening. And the weather's pretty good down here today, down here in Kansas City, Missouri. Still following the Puffy case. Been kind of listening to it and stuff. And I'm just really, this case is more crazier than I thought. I knew that when Cassie decided that she was going to testify against Diddy, I knew her name was going to get drugged through the mud beyond the point of no return. But not like this, not to this point. And I'm going to tell you, the whole toxic situation, I'm going to tell you, everybody was using everybody in that situation. Everybody was using everybody in that situation. Cassie was 19, and at 19, you got to think about where your mind was at 19 when she got with Diddy. She wanted fame and fortune. See, that's what the devil would do. He would dress some stuff up, and that's what he did with Diddy and Cassie. Satan would dress something up in a beautiful package with a beautiful big bow on it. And that's what he did with Diddy and Cassie when they got together. Diddy wanted that young, beautiful, drop-dead, gorgeous, moldable woman child. And she wanted that big, powerful, rich mogul who could further her career, because all she really had going for herself was her looks. She did not have any talent, really. The woman ain't got nothing. She got the talent of a tadpole, pretty much. She doesn't have the talent. But she knew that with her looks and with this man and his connections and his power, it was going to get her to where she wanted to go. So that's why she entertained him in the first place. Keep in mind, she was messing with another older black man, Ryan Leslie, who put her on in the first place. They said he met her in a club and put her on. And she made that song, which is very highly sexual. Her debut song was sexual. That's why if I was Diddy's lawyer, I don't care. I would go hard on her, because I would let her know that you came in here on sex, on some freaky sex stuff. Because your song, Me and You, is all about sex. You got with these older men because you knew that with your looks that you were going to gain fame and fortune. They were going to give you fame and fortune because they were in a position to give you just exactly what your heart's desired. And the same thing with Diddy. You had this young, moldable, unknown woman, drop-dead, beautiful, gorgeous young woman that he just turned out in every freaky way. She fulfilled every freaky fantasy that he had in his head. And he knew she was only there for what he could do for her. He knew in his heart of hearts that she did not love him. So, he used that to his advantage. Everybody was using everybody in this situation. And so there are no saints in this whole scenario. And just listening to Cassie's story, and then now that Diddy's lawyers are cross-examining her, they're pulling that information out of her. They're very strategic and very smart in the way that they're very calculated in the way they're pulling that information out. They're slowly getting that information out of her. You wanted the freak off sessions just as much as he did. Some days you didn't feel like it, some days you did. But ultimately you stayed for over a decade because of what this man could do for you. You did not love him, even though she says she did. She loved what he did for her. That's the main thing. And so afterwards, I think after a while, during the course of that relationship and after a decade plus passed, Cassie saw that, first of all, as long as Kim Porter was alive, she was never going to get a ring from Diddy. Second of all, once Kim Porter died, that done something to the point that Diddy was like, you know what? I'm not about to marry nobody. All of my money is going to go to my kids. And then you got to look at it like this too. Diddy knows the things that he's done with all of those so-called victims. He knew the things that he did with them. He knew what they are capable of. Them women was getting urinated on, and that they get peed in their mouth. Male prostitutes, and probably some females too, ejaculating on them. These women was anything. They were goers. All of them were goers. All these so-called victims were goers, including Cassie. They was having some of the worst degrading sexual acts done to them, and admitted to enjoying them sometimes. The escorts even testified and said that Cassie enjoyed the things and requested some of the things that was done to her. And I think that what has happened is this. As she grew up and she realized that she was wasting her time, she was never going to get no ring from Diddy. Diddy was not going to marry her because Diddy knows how she got down, including the rest of the so-called victims. They wanted something more serious with Diddy, thinking that that's going to get them, a ring or more pull than the rest of the jump-offs and the harem members or whatever. But no, Diddy was not that dumb. He knew what these women were capable of. He knew what they were there for. But he miscalculated a lot of things to his disadvantage. And also with Cassie and her husband, I'll tell you, that white boy did not know all this stuff was going to come out. Or maybe he did, he just didn't care, because this white boy is in for the long haul. He's in for the long game. What's going to happen is this. He's going to let Cassie humiliate herself, drag her reputation through the mud, and he's going to stick it out with her for a few years. And what's going to happen is he's going to divorce her, possibly even take those girls away and say that Cassie is not psychologically capable of raising them. He's going to do I smell a Kevin Federline situation from that's what it's going to end up with, because that white boy is not going to stay with Cassie, knowing that Cassie done allowed all that stuff to be done to her, and she indulged in all that debaucherous, deviant, decadent behavior. That boy is not going to stay with her because he can't even hold his head up and be with Cassie for real. I don't care how beautiful she is. You done did all this stuff and let these prostitutes and stuff pee on you and in your mouth and all this stuff and ejaculate on you and all this stuff. Let's keep it real. I'm using real language. That man is not going to... If that marriage lasts 5 years... 5 more years, I would be surprised. But he may stay with her just long enough to get half of her money or blow through her money, because she said she admitted in court she got $20 million out of Diddy. So that's a lot of money at stake, and that white boy is in it for the long game. Trust me. He knows what he's doing. So, there are no saints in that whole situation. And as far as the rapper that will not be named going after Diddy so hard, it's because don't get mad at Diddy because your baby mama is a dumpster too. She probably took more than all the rest of them, because all them women ain't none of them about nothing. All them women are in it to win it. They in it to win it. They in it to get what they can get. All those situations that's involved in that lifestyle is all about use or be used. And that's what happened here. So if you're going to give Diddy life in prison, you might as well give the rest of those rappers life in prison, because I'm quite sure they're peeing on females and doing all kinds of stuff too, and doing worse than that. They're flying those women in and having orgies and providing drugs and everything, just like Diddy is. So if they're gonna give Diddy life in prison, give the rest of them rappers life in prison. Not just rappers, all the rest of them rich men life in prison that indulge in that type of debauchery. Don't just do Diddy. Why are y'all singling Diddy out? That's unfair. That doesn't make sense. Because I'm gonna tell you, 99.9% of them engage in that type of behavior. I'm telling you, they do. And 99.9% of them is infested with STDs, incurable STDs. I'm telling y'all. So all y'all young girls that want to get out there and go to Dubai and go get flued out and all that stuff with all them rich rappers and athletes and actors and celebrities and politicians and stuff, just know that if you keep on rolling the dice and playing Russian roulette, you're going to wind up with an incurable STD. You're going to wind up with a bunch of broken dreams, your name drugged through the mud, and a terrible reputation that you will not be able to recover from. Hopefully, yours won't be as public or publicized as Cassie's is now. Because if Cassie finds any man to take her seriously after this trial, I would really be surprised. The only reason why a man would get with Cassie now is because of her money. Because I don't care how good she looks. Once you done admitted that you have been indulging in that type of debauchery to that level, ain't no man gonna ever take you serious unless he is just a certified bona fide simp. What it is with her situation is that she invested a lot of time and a lot of degradation in that relationship for over a decade. And so she has a lot of deep-seated regret and psychological issues, in addition to probably a raging drug and alcohol addiction. And she feels like, I at least got to get something out of this. So 20 million, yeah, give me my 20 million because you have ruined my whole life and wasted my time for over a decade. Not only does she leave that relationship with, she didn't get the career that she wanted out of Diddy, because Diddy was just basically using her for a sex slave, because Diddy knew she didn't have no talent. He couldn't mold Cassie like he molded Mary J. Blige. It just wasn't happening. The talent just wasn't there. It wasn't there. So Cassie feels like her time was wasted because she didn't get a ring. She didn't get the career that she wanted. And so when she got with this white boy and started cheating with him under Puffy's nose and got knocked up by him and married him, they had to figure out a way that they can maintain the lifestyle that Cassie had, in addition to take care of their family and enjoying getting Puffy out of billions of dollars pretty much. And that's what they did. But when you do stuff like that the wrong way, first of all, she entered into the situation wrong. All of them did. It was wrong from the get-go. And when you play demonic games, you win demonic prizes. And that's what they all want. And we don't know if Puffy is going to get 15 years or 20 years or whatever, but that's up to the Lord. That's, God is in that courtroom right about now, and he's the ultimate judge, because there were no saints in this whole situation. But I still feel that it is totally unfair to put this man in prison for the rest of his life and punish his children and his family, his mother, because of the wild, debaucherous sexual activity that all of these consenting adults and the drugs, all of these things they consented to. And just because things didn't turn out the way you wanted to, you feel like you could just take all this man's money and put him in prison for the rest of his life? That's totally unfair and that's wrong. And everybody involved is going to pay for that. So if I was Puffy's attorney and I'm giving a closing argument, I would hammer that point home. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And those lawyers really need to hammer the point home that in that lifestyle, that is the norm. That's how they get down in that whole eyes wide shut mansion party, sex party, orgies, drug induced. That's the lifestyle. That's the norm in that situation. So if you're going to punish Puffy and put him in jail for the rest of his life, indict all of them that engage in that lifestyle. I mean, you can't target just one person. You can't target Trump or anybody else like they did. Even if they could target the president, they can target anybody. So, and I think that was totally unfair, because most people that at that level of wealth and power indulge in some type of debauchery like that. It's like a needle in a haystack if you find somebody that don't. So that's my take on that. I may come back and do a little commentary on other news, but yeah, this whole This whole trial is a mess. There's more wickedness. It just goes deeper down the rabbit hole. And there's a lot of these celebrities that participated in a lot of those parties and everything are shaking in their boots because as this trial progresses, more information is being spilled. Is that why Pastor Jake stepped down? Because he's scared his name's going to come out? There's a lot of these people that participated in that stuff are nervous now because this is just the first week of the trial. It's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out that a lot of people's reputations are not going to be able to recover from. So we'll see, but that's how it is, honey. When you think you're doing that stuff, all that secret sin, all that wickedness is being exposed. God is exposing it. He's yanking the covers off of it, and the whole world is finding out now just how wicked that lifestyle is. So that's all that's happening. That's what's happening. You cannot engage and indulge in that stuff and think that God is going to let you continue on like that. That's not going to happen. Even when you make a deal with the devil, you got to realize that you made a deal with the devil. He is not going to let you continue on and not suffer some type of severe consequences behind it because he's the devil. He don't like you. He hate all of y'all. So he hate all of us, everybody. So you're not going to win with him. He don't give you the back end terms of the contract that you signed with him when you barter and exchange your soul for all that he's given you. So, all right, y'all. I only got a minute left on this thing, so be blessed. Have a blessed day. I will come back, hopefully, later on after I've read some more news, and I'm taking care of some business right now. And until then, peace. God bless everybody. All right.